In anime and manga, the inner demon trope is something very common if you haven't been living under a rock. Inner demons like Kurama, White, and Sukuna from the latest Jujutsu Kaisen. I personally don't want to touch on who's better and who's not because that is a debate that I will never talk about in my life or on this channel. There are two characters in Black Clover, in my opinion, who have something special to them that really make them stand out in this crowd. Not saying they're the best, not saying they're the worst, but they're really special. And those two characters are Liebe and Asta. With Black Clover being a character-driven story, and Tabata making amazing characters, it's no surprise that Tabata was able to nail this dynamic between Liebe and Asta. But before you get in the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with that bell notification to always stay notified whenever I upload a video. Pretty sure we're near 8K, and tired of the 7K shit, and I'm tired of not constantly uploading, so let's change that. Now obviously, I can't say Asta and Liebe are special and not give my reasonings for it, so that's what I'm definitely gonna do, and we're gonna get into Liebe first. When you look at Liebe's backstories, it's one of the saddest in Black Clover. Somebody who couldn't even find belonging in his own world, the world of the devils, which is the underworld. Kid was theoretically kicked out of the underworld, being thrown at the barrier, and since he had no magic, he went right through and went to the human world. When you think things couldn't get any worse, the humans saw him and immediately discriminated against him because he was a devil who would bring nothing but destruction and curse them, which, again, from the human's perspective, it's kinda bad because, again, he is a devil, but Liebe was a devil who didn't care about tormenting humans or hurting them. It's kinda sad because just like Asta, this happened to him as well. Asta, even though to a degree they didn't want to kill him, they objectified him because he didn't have magic, so he must be a useless peasant who can't do anything in life. And they objectified Liebe by saying a devil trying to come in this world and trying to kill us. They're objectifying these guys of who they think they are, but not showing how much they can grow and who they can be. But things actually got better because he was taken in by Lucita. Lucita was somebody who actually cared for Liebe, didn't care that he had no magic, didn't care that he was a devil, and saw him more than just a devil. She saw him as her son, and she took him in when no one else could. She didn't see him as a failure, didn't see him as a magicless brat, just saw her as a kid and nothing more. Lucita showed Liebe kindness in a world that wasn't kind to him, and in the world of the underworld that wasn't even kind to him as well. She showed him what it's like to live and what it's like to be loved by a loving parent, which Liebe didn't have in the underworld. In the underworld, he was the outcast. He was the person that everyone looked down upon and would beat up and torture. You could even say that Lucita was helped by Liebe's existence because she felt lonely in her life, because that's what she was. She had to give up Asta because of her powers, and now she was alone, but she actually had Liebe by her side. But sadly, good things in Black Clover never seemed to stay, because obviously, when Liebe was about to call Lucita mom, and when you think that their story is going to happily ever after, it doesn't. Lucifero tries to manifest into Liebe, but Lucita's strong love, and trying to make sure that she doesn't lose anyone else, she decides to give up her life to make sure Liebe lives, and that Lucifero couldn't take over Liebe's body and manifest in this world. In a short span, Liebe was bullied in the underworld, wasn't treated like one of them, and was basically seen as less than. And the moment that he felt like he had somebody to look for and somebody that cared for him, instead of just calling him a weak devil and torturing him, he loses it in a mere instant. It's pretty tragic because the only crime that Liebe committed, or the crimes that he committed to the devils, was being weak, and the crimes he committed to the humans was being a so-called devil, and the stereotype being that the devil will curse us all. But Liebe didn't want any of that. He didn't care for it because he was already tortured and battered and beaten. He didn't care for it. And that person that treated him like a human and treated him like their own kid was dead in an instant because of Liebe's existence. It's kind of understandable why this man is so livid. Liebe was never really evil. Yeah, I know, shocking. But he just wanted to avenge Lucita and kill all devils. And you could say that he kind of parallels Asta, where Asta doesn't want to get revenge on anyone and just wants to prove people wrong and show them that with hard work that he can surpass his limits and become the Wizard King even if he's magicless, while Liebe, he wants to take revenge on the devils that basically wronged him and Lucita. Now maybe it's me coping or basically me reading too much into it. Maybe us objectifying Liebe as this evil inner demon that's going to take over Asta and basically torment him for the rest of his life was basically us being the devils and the humans in Black Clover. Us objectifying Liebe for what he is, but not who he actually is. Also, obviously having Key, knowing that Liebe isn't as evil as, the other devils that he's seen, like Zagred. Zagred was evil just to be evil. Liebe, he has sadness. He wants revenge. He's somebody who is scared. He's somebody who just wants revenge for his fallen mother and wants to avenge her. Asta, obviously sensing this, still needs to fight so he doesn't lose this ritual, because obviously if he loses, he's basically gonna die. So Asta does beat him, but instead of treating Liebe like an actual devil, like Noct suggests, like saying, obey me, and making this devil your servant, Asta decides to, no, let's just be friends. Asta can feel the hurt in Liebe, and making him his slave is probably one of the worst things Asta could have done for Liebe, because Liebe would just be a pawn for Asta, and this is an equal contract. Not only that, it's more fitting because they're brothers. Why would Asta do that to his brother? Now obviously Asta at this time didn't know, but Liebe of course knew. They're technically brothers. It kind of makes sense why Liebe and Asta intentionally look like each other, because they're supposed to be parallels of each other, because Liebe is Asta, but somebody who was mistreated and used his hatred for revenge, while Asta is still striving to be a better person, even if people mistreat him, even if they don't accept him, and hell, even if they don't like him. Despite all of that, my favorite part of Asta and Liebe's relationship is when they were fighting Lucifero. That was my favorite part. With Lucifero finally manifesting and beating up our favorite characters, Asta, Liebe, Yuno, Yami, and Noct are on the back end of this fight. Despite these fighters pushing Lucifero to his utmost limit and his 50% power, nothing is enough. But Devil Union, Noct's Devil Union, Yami's Devil Heart, and Yuno's new star magic combined with his wind magic, nothing is truly enough. Lucifero goes to his 50%, 100% power and completely demolishes them. This is Liebe's whole life goal coming crashing down. Lucita was killed by Lucifero, and Liebe thinking he can avenge her, and realizing that he's too weak to even beat Lucifero even in this weakened state. Lucifero is too strong, and they can't beat him like this. Before Lucifero could deliver the final punch to Asta and Liebe has memories of Lucita that gets flooded to Asta. Lucita was Asta's mother, and Asta learns this upon looking at the memories. And honestly, this is the saddest moment for Liebe. Liebe feels like this is his fault. He apologizes to Lucita saying, I'm sorry. Liebe starts regretting his actions and some of the things that he's been doing leading up to this point. Liebe says, what was it all for? Lucita was still killed, and he spent all that time in that grimoire cursing devils, making anti-magic, but in the end he wasn't strong enough to beat Lucifero. Liebe hates him, he hates Lucifero and the devils, but he hates himself. He feels like that if he stayed in the underworld and didn't come out in the human world, Lucita would have never adopted him, and she would have never died. If only I had magic, if only Lucita has never met me, she wouldn't have died. Liebe, bawling his eyes out, is apologizing profusely, telling Lucita that he's sorry because of him, he feels like she's dead because of him, which isn't really true. Not sad because Lucita was the only one that gave Liebe love, and he feels like it's his fault that that woman that he called mom is gone because of his lack of magic, but that's not his fault. It's the people in the underworld who treat him like nothing. Asta, not knowing about Liebe's pain, still feels like they need to get up and fight, and tells him that I couldn't use magic and I was the only one that couldn't, and I was discriminated against. That really hurt, but together, your pain, your anger, your sadness, it gave us strength. Asta continues telling him, I'm very lucky to have met someone like you, because someone who can actually experience my pain, my sadness, and who can understand what it feels like to be called a failure in life. And without each other, we're nothing. Asta without Liebe is nothing. Liebe without Asta is nothing. But together, they are something. They'll make something of themselves and beat Lucifero, the person who objectified them as failures. And with this pep talk, Liebe understands now he's not alone anymore. He has someone to lean toward when he's sad, when he's angry, when he's crying, and has somebody to call brother, and somebody to help him beat Lucifero. Finally gaining true devil union with the fuse with Liebe, they slice Lucifero and start beating him with 5 seconds left to spare. They continue to show Lucifero why they are what they are, and that Lucifero unknowingly brought them together. And Lucifero can grovel on the ground and continue to be angry, but together, him and Liebe will live and be happy. Together, both Liebe and Asta not only helped each other achieve avenging Lucita, but they became the heroes of the Black Clover world. A devil and human, both seen as failures by respective societies, and was objectified as failures by said society. Both of them worked together to beat the king of the devils, the one who sat on top of the underworld. Pretty ironic in my opinion, and I think it's fascinating to see Lucifero's end like this. Even though I have my problems with Lucifero, I can't lie, I really like Liebe and Asta in this arc. going from peasants, failures, to heroes and saviors. Is there anything else that you guys like about Liebe and Asta? Comment that down below. Don't be shy. I want to see you guys' opinion on Liebe and Asta's relationship, because I feel like it's one of the best relationships and dynamics in Black Clover. And honestly, the Lucifero fight really puts this as a cherry on top. But that'll be it for today's video. And if you guys did enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below your favorite part of this video. And why not hit that like button? Because obviously, if you guys want to see more Black Clover analysis, versus battles, or any types of anime manga, it will show me that you guys really want to by hitting that like button and subscribing. And this is the end of the video, so I'll see you guys later. Peace out and goodbye.